loves. Okay, I think we're here. Welcome. Surprise live, needed live. Let's talk about the vibes and what's going on and the physical things that are coming up right now. Second new moon in Cancer coming up. Chiron retrograde. There's a lot happening inside. There's a lot happening in our world. We got many things to talk about. I wanted to talk to you guys about the retreat specifically today, but I just feel like this is a needed conversation. So we're going to talk about all the things because we're going through a transition and everyone is like feeling it. So these are things that need to be talked about. Love the purple. Yay, thank you. Yeah, I change according to the color that I need. So it's just one of those things. Color therapy is a thing. Color holds vibration. It's like a physical manifestation of a vibration. And so sometimes it's just a matter of the color that we need. Today I was in the purple. So yay, welcome loves. Welcome to another surprise 12D party. So why are we talking about 12D? Because clearly the energy is changing, yet there's so much shit going on in our world that it feels like things are being pulled apart. Like this is what a lot of there's just a lot of things happening. How do you figure out where you stand? How do you figure out how to hold the things together? How do you figure out your life? The placements of the planets right now, because we're in between new moons in Cancer. We have 2 new moons in a row in Cancer. The last new moon was an eclipse, right? And then we have another new moon and it's in Cancer. So it's like this whole tunnel that has been happening after the completion of the eclipses to this new beginning that's leading us to finish things up. It's finishing up the cycle because then we have new galactic year, right? So there's just things are coming up. And I've been saying this a lot, but it feels like there's a lot of triggers that are coming up, and they're coming up in the way that they need to happen. So pay attention, because sometimes they'll come to you via the things that are happening in the world, right? That spark feelings inside of you. And they're things that are unhealed that we have to heal, that we need to like transmute, and that we need to let go of, okay? So this is a good question. Okay, what is 12D? 12D is the new frequency that is available on planet Earth, on our planetary grid, which is the highest frequency that we have available as of right now until basically we, leave the body and we continue on in different form. The manifest world, okay, the agreed upon physical reality that everybody agrees upon and therefore is manifested into physical life, what we call reality, okay, that's the 3D world, which is crumbling. As the 3D world crumbles, we're all figuring out the 4D mental plane. This is where the war is happening, right, on the 4D plane. Then there's the next level of the physical, which is in like alignment with the energy of Venus, which is in alignment with like the newer Earth energy, but it's a physical plane, and it's a 5D, and in the 5D, it's a shit show too, because a lot of people get there and it's already infiltrated, it's already distorted, okay? So every dimension has, it's like, it's a dimensional, it's a frequency, it's a climbing up of the layers of yourself. It's activating higher chakras, right? So think about if the world that you turn on when you turn on your TV, that's the 3D world, okay? You got to climb all the way up to 12D, basically. And it's a way to, like, you just transmute and you access more and you continue to spiral your energy up. I'm trying to figure out like how to explain it in a very short, like I teach entire courses about this stuff. Like the mastermind is the course that teaches you like these things in details, okay? But basically it's a way to wind yourself through the dimensional planes to understand things, to see things from a different perspective, to unlock understanding, knowledge, wisdom inside of you, abilities that your body has, that your mind has, that you didn't know were possible. okay? As you're still living on this planet, but you're vibrating in a different frequency, and therefore life affects you different. And this is the thing that's happening to a lot of people right now when we don't know, like, you know, there's a lot of situations that a lot of people don't know entirely what to do about. And the only way that you're gonna find your piece of the puzzle, your which is really not a piece of the puzzle because it's your wholeness, because that's what we always want to look for, right? So the wholeness is by getting into your alignment and figuring out what it is that your soul came here to do on the planet. Because otherwise you're going to end up getting caught in this like whirling energy of hopelessness, of despair, of what the fuck is going on, okay? And so you don't want to do that. You don't want to get into that loop, which is happening to a lot of people. So basically, you want to climb your layers of your own self, okay? When you can touch that 12D energy, which we used to be able to only like touch it, feel it, be in it, travel in it, integrate with it when we were like in astral travel. And, you know, or if you're taking like psychedelics and doing like things that get you into higher dimensional fields and you can hold it for like this little and then you're down, right? When we were doing meditations, we would hold it for like an hour and you hold this state of being and then you come back into like where you are right now and you had an altered experience, which changes your perception of reality, which allows you to integrate these higher frequencies in your body so that you feel better, so that you're more recalibrated to the higher frequencies. That was only available up there, right? In the higher planes. Now it's available here. It's actually alive on the grid, okay? And it's available. Not only that, it is building. And so not everybody has grabbed a hold of the 12D yet, and that's okay, right? Because it's a process. You can't sustain the frequency of 12D unless you've gone through all the steps. It's just the way that it works. And so you have to work your way through higher and higher and higher. Let go of more density. Let go of the hurts, the judgments, the fears, the pain, the bullshit, the dramas, let go of all of that stuff and then just climb higher and higher and higher. And the drama is the thing that's happening to a lot of people right now. It's really hard to let go because there's so much fucking induced drama in our world that it's so easy to jump on that train thinking that you're doing the right thing and you don't know entirely what you're doing, but it's like your emotions are being taken on a roller coaster and you can't stop. It's like a bad train wreck and you can't like stop watching it, right? It kind of feels like that. That's how it's all engineered. So you need to start really taking charge energetically of, who you are. Number one, if you don't know who you are and what you came on this planet to do, then that's number one where you start. Because if you don't got that down by now, you're in fucking trouble because the next shit that's coming up, you guys, like, it's not pleasant. Like, if you think that we're having a hard time right now on planet Earth, no. What is coming, the things that are coming up, and I just can't say it anymore, like, this is not to scare you. This is for you to understand that if you have not stopped, paused, and done your work, this is like your, like, I don't even want to call it procrastinator's time. This is just like, this is it. There's nothing more important for you. There is nothing more important for you than figuring out who you are, what you stand for, what you're here on planet Earth to do, and how the fuck you're gonna act in this like world. That's like the only thing, because otherwise you're going to get caught in these currents. And a lot of the times what these currents, these movements, these revolutions, these things, like all of this stuff, it like riles up your emotions and you're like, oh, I feel like I gotta do something. I should probably do this. Blah, 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 blah. You pick it with a fucking sign and you don't know what the hell it means and you don't know what you're actually supporting, okay? That's the problem. A lot of people feel like they have to do something and so they plug right into some fucking shit that's already done for them. This is not what you came on Earth to do at all. You have to figure out who you are. You have to remember. You have to like do your work. This is between you and creator of all that is. This is between you and your higher self, okay? This is the stuff that matters. It's not the other stuff. Why? Because your sanity depends on it. And your nervous system is about to bust out. Like, physical bodies are short-circuiting because our nervous systems have not been trained to take stress at all. Because on Earth, there's this thing that's called the 9 to 5, and then the entertainment cycle, and then, get through your day, take the pharmaceutical, take the coffee to wake up, take something to go to sleep. Like, everything has been fucked up, okay? So it's not natural to do that stuff. Therefore, it's kind of like, I don't know if this is helpful, but as a parallel, like women, when we take birth control, for example, our natural systems of our body don't work, right? So if you're on birth control, it's some kind of chemical thing that's not allowing your body to produce the things, which, by the way, that is like a whole hormonal situation on its own, okay? So I don't recommend it at all whatsoever. But I'm just saying, I feel like we've all experimented with that at some point of our lives. So if you're doing that, okay, your body is not working its natural cycle, therefore it's not used to it, okay? And it's the same thing that's happening when we're taking, and so when you get off of it, you have to like all get regulated and like all these things. Same thing with if you have something that's going on with your thyroid, okay? And you take thyroid pills, your thyroid doesn't fucking work anymore, so the pill has to do the job, and now you're dependent on the pill. Okay, so whatever it is that you're taking stuff for, your body, like our body, especially when we're talking about things that are stimulants and things that are like, they turn you off. It's like, do you realize how many people take something to wake up and something to go to sleep, right? I'm not talking about chamomile tea. Like, I am a big fan of chamomile tea. I'm talking about the heavy shit, you guys. So the reason why I'm saying this is, and it's because on our own, our physical bodies, our mind, our mental processing, and our physical ability to process stress, to process high impact information and stressors is not there. We're used to just popping a pill, right? Oh, you're having a hard time? Here's a pill. Oh, you're having like this hurts? Here's a pill. Like, everything is like that because it became this society that's like this, right? This is why we're having a hard time, because the things that are coming up now, there's no fucking pill for, hey, there's sex trafficking of children in Hollywood. There's no pill for that, right? Like the things that are coming up, there's no pill for that. And because of that, besides like an antidepressant, but like our system is not used to like processing through these things, okay? So on the other side of it all, what do you need to do? You need to get a hold of yourself. You need to understand how to find your alignment, how to find your connection, your higher purpose, what you're here to do. The only way, if you remember anything out of this life, okay, you guys, the only way that you're going to feel at peace, that you're going to feel fulfilled, that you're going to feel like you're in your sanity, that you're doing good, is if your soul is doing what you came here to do on the planet, okay? And it doesn't mean that you have to get involved in the politics to solve it. It doesn't mean that you have to get involved in like, whatever, but you have to do the thing that you came here to do. If you're not doing that, you can try all the fucking causes in the world and you will not find peace, okay? So that's why it's between you and God, it's between you and your higher self, you and the universe, however you want to call it, however you want to call that relationship, okay? Figure out what it is that you stand for. Otherwise, the sense of emptiness, the sense of lostness, and that like empty feeling in your stomach, it's not going away. There's not enough drinking, there's not enough drugs, there's not enough any of it that's going to take it away. You have to figure out what the fuck you're here to do on planet Earth. That's the answer, okay? So with that, and here is why. And like, how does this help the planet? How does this help everything else? Because if every single person actually recalibrated energetically, then the world would be in balance. It would have to, because there's so many of us that are here bringing and holding higher frequencies that it becomes like a tidal wave and it just, it eradicates everything else. The reason why these things are coming up, it's because number one, the planets energetically are helping us. And number two, there's so many of us now that are holding high frequency, which means that the world can't lie anymore. right? Because frequency, like the higher you get in frequency, the more everything is transparent. You can't lie. Energy doesn't lie. There's no filter for that shit. If you go around and you're an empath and you know how to use your skills, you know exactly if somebody's lying to you or not. Whether or not you choose to use your superpowers, that's up to you, right? But like, it's like we were saying in the most recent post. So it's just... Amina is saying there are no pills for your awakening. Do the work. Thank you. Can we put that? We need to write that in a thing. But that's really true. That's really the thing. That's really it. We're used to having a pill for everything, and there's no pill for this. Okay. So this is why also a long time ago, Yogi Bhajan, founder of Kundalini, sure, a lot of shit came up on him, but he was right on a lot of things. Okay. And he came up with some cool shit. So he said, by this time, which is the Aquarian age, 1/3 of the population would go crazy. 1/3 of the population would find a way off the planet because they couldn't handle it. And so they would like commit suicide or find a way to die or get off the planet. And the other third would actually be sane, okay? And the other third would be okay. That is a pretty awful prediction. And you can see, though, how it's playing out. People don't have the skills that are required to process and to hold themselves through this stuff, right? And so that's your number one. That's always your number one. And it doesn't mean that you have to actively do something in every single cause that comes up. Because now what's happening? A lot of people were so like, oh my God, the movement, let's go protest, Black Lives Matters, like all these things that were said, right? Like all of this revolution. Now all the bullshit is coming up behind it. All the people that led it, where the money is going, where the energy is going, what's actually happening with it, the brutality that's caused by it. It's causing more and more and more violence, right? So it's just, you have to learn, this is just in general, because after this one, there will be other shit, right? There will be picketing for the fucking vaccines. I don't know, maybe there will be like something else matters. Maybe there will be like, you know, I mean, right now, what is it? Like round 2 of the virus bullshit. Like there will always be something. Are you going to get taken up by the whirlwind of whatever the fuck it is because you need the next true Hollywood drama? Okay, so I mean, see through the things, okay? If your third eye is not open, open it. If you don't want to open it, use your gut instinct, okay? Your instinct will tell you. And a lot of times you feel like you have to do these things because you have this sense of like, I have to be a good citizen, or I feel like I have to do something, okay? Or what will people think if I don't say anything? What will my neighbors think? What will this, like what kind of example? You know what? That shit, that's the work. That stuff that comes up is the work. Don't do anything that you actually don't want to do, that your soul doesn't want to do wholeheartedly. Don't do shit that you don't believe in at 100 fucking %. It's like it hurts your soul. Your soul is going to want to leave, okay? And the reason why, now we're wrapping it around to the 12D, the reason why is because your body can't, your soul cannot live here if you are not living in truth, okay? And a lot of people don't know what their truth is because we're not taught that. So you have to find a mentor, you have to take a course, you have to like manifest a way to figure it out. There's plenty of free resources and there's plenty of courses, there's plenty of YouTube videos. Figure out what works for you, okay? I always tell you guys this because I am like such a big believer. Like it's not, I teach you guys, I have lots of courses and I teach you guys many things. There's also many other teachers out there. You have to find who you resonate with. The important part, okay, is that you get the skills and the tools and the knowledge. And no one person's way is the right way or the wrong way. You have to figure out what you resonate with, okay? So if you find something that you feel like that makes sense, then that's your gold, right? And it may not work for your friend or for your family or for whatever, but when you find that and your soul is like, oh my God, like ding, 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 and then it feels like this domino effect and you're like, oh my God, this makes sense. Boom, I have chills. Holy shit, then this is this, and then this is this, and you start this like, domino effect where everything starts to come full circle. Now that's where you want to be. That's the stuff that you want to be doing. That's the people that you want to be following. Make sure that you're not following like things. There's a lot of stuff out there that tells you what's going on, but then you're left with what's going on, but you still don't know what to do. Okay. So the what to do part is important because you have to process it. Okay. The key is to process this energy. Whether it comes to you from the social situations and the news or the streams of information that are circling around, whatever, and you have to process some harsh truth about these things that are coming up in Hollywood, the bullshit lies of, all the things that we've been told, all the conspiracy theories that are actually like not conspiracy theories because like we were saying yesterday, Noah in the Bible was a conspiracy theorist until it started to rain, and then he was the one with the boat. So there's things. But so there's a lot. And for a lot of people, it's just really hard to process that stuff. For a lot of people, that stuff is not hard. For a lot of people, what's hard is the frequencies that are blasting in from the sun. It's like the plasma light. It's like the ascension stuff, right? Like all of that. They don't even know what the hell it is. For some people, it's all of the childhood wounds. It's like Chiron and Saturn are like on you. And it's like the triggers and the triggers and the triggers. And like, have you dealt with this yet? Is your parents' wound coming up? Like, are all the things that hurt your heart when you were a kid coming up right now? Right? Like your insecurities, your fears, all that stuff, that's Chiron and then Saturn, right? And like with the whole Pluto, Jupiter, like all the planets are here to do that alchemy, to push the buttons. And then there's like Venus right now that's hanging out with the moon. So like if things aren't going on well at home, that stuff is coming up too, right? There's a lot of importance right now around the home. And then it's this new beginning. And, the moon is like, hey, you had a chance. Did you do the work at the solstice? Did you do the work through the eclipses? Because it's all coming back around. This is like this, like portal energy that we've been in that's taken us all the way through to the Lion's Gate. So there's a lot. And if you're not on it, you're not on it. Right? Like it's just, then you don't feel good. That's why I always say, it's like the way that is that if you're truly happy, if you don't have anything going on, if you can sit in silence for 10 minutes with yourself and your resonant energy is that of peace, then you've got to like teach other people how to do that. So like, this is how you test it, right? Those of you that know things, this is the time to teach. Like, this is not the time to hold back. This is why Goddess on Mission is, the time is now. Like, this information is so needed. There are people that don't know, right? When we talk about skills, so many of you have been through my courses and you say like, holy shit, I would not know what to do right now had I not, learned all of the things. Like, thank God I have the mastermind. Thank God I have like this course because now I know how to do this stuff. Think about how many people don't know these things, right? And they're like being faced with like this stuff and they don't know, right? So then of course they're going to go to the liquor store. Where else are they going to go, right? Like, I mean, hopefully by now it's like we all have cell phones, right? So there's a way to research information, but it's also knowing, there's a lot of awakening up that we constantly can do. And each of us came here with a plan and a purpose and a mission. And I know that if you're here, it's because some of this is like hitting home for you, right? And so you have a message and you have a thing to do. And so this is really our time, right? This is when we're needed. There was this thing that my mom used to say to me all the time when I was a kid. I'm going to tell you guys too. So my parents, I grew up religiously confused because my parents were Catholic and then they became Latter-day Saints. So there was like this one God over here and then this one God over here, and I was really confused. This was in my early childhood. But My mom always said this, and some things were always gold, for me. Like even in the confusion and, all the chaos that it brought me, clearly it brought me to where I'm at, and I needed it, and I signed up for it so that I could actually figure all this stuff out and where to get the answers and all of that. But she would always say, remember, you are in the world, but you are not of the world, okay? And when I was a kid, it just made me feel like I didn't belong with other people, right? Like I was like, okay. But, and this was her religious background, right? You are in the world, but you are not of the world. Like you came here and there was no attachment to that in any kind of sense, like basically it meant like, hey, like my parents always believed that you're here, but you're not here to stay. It's not like you die with the planet. Like your spirit will continue. Like they always believed in that. So I grew up in like, a thing where it's like, yeah, you go somewhere after, right? There's things to do after. And that was the whole concept of it. But in a sense, right, that's a brilliant statement because you're here, but you're not part of like, there are so many people, and this is going to sound a little strange, but just roll with it, okay, that are background people. The Law of One talks about this. There are this world, when you really begin to look at it from a different perspective and you look at the holographic thing of it all, right? And you are manifesting in your daily interaction. You need so many people that are like your main characters in the movie of your life. And then there are so many people that are background people. Don't worry don't take in the drama of all the interactions that are not going to make you grow. So there's a lot. And you're here to do a job. Right? You're in the world, but you're not of the world. So don't get sucked into the motherfucking dramas. That's not what my mama said. That's how I'm telling you guys. Don't get sucked into it, okay? Rise above it. Like, understand that you're here to do a job. Because if you get in the mix of it, it's kind of like when you're in an argument, right? We've all been in an argument with our significant other where you're in the motherfucking crossfire and you're like, what is going on? But then when you're done and you're looking at it from a different perspective and you're like, well, that was dumb. Or like, wasn't that like, we could have figured that out in a much better way. That could have been resolved easier because you're looking at it from a different perspective. Okay. So when you're in the mix of it, when you're like in the energy of all these movements and you're getting like your feelings get sucked in and they go and juice up this massive monster that's being creative, which by the way, you're also like when you're plugging in your feelings to a vortex of an energy, you are literally feeding a monster. Okay. By using words, by using the feeling, when you're like, oh my gosh, this is heart-wrenching and horrible and whatever, and you plug into this drama and you're giving your energy to feed something. So be aware of that. And now I don't know what else I was saying, like the full circle thing. But basically, like, don't do that. Like, don't do that. You are here to stay above that. Oh, thank you. See that when the angels whisper in my ears? Thank you. So the point is, not to get into, like, plugged into the drama, but to be above it, right? You're not of here, but you're like, you're here to do something. Like, you're here for something special. So it's very important to have a different perspective of it instead of getting caught, in the undertow. My mentor Gary calls it the petty hangups of your life instead of your dreams. Do you want the petty hangups of your life or do you want your dreams? Which will you go for? And it seems like such an easy thing, but so many times we're so intertwined energetically, emotionally, mentally with our hangups, with all the dramas, but this is happening and how could I possibly, right? So, but do you want that or do you want your dreams? And so in this case, it's like, I'm saying, do you want your alignment? Because your alignment is really, where you're at. And then your dreams come from that. So that's the important part. Like, get on purpose, get on mission, right? I can't say it enough times. The energy is not going to let down. It's not. So get your system functioning on all levels. Get your breath work on. Your mind needs to be sharp. Your body needs to be able to process the energy. Stay on point. This is the shit that we came down for, right? If you were a Navy SEAL and you've been training forever, in your sleep, because maybe you don't know, this is like the mission is right here. So like you're on, okay? You are on. And it's just like you have to be ready for it. You have to be sharp. You can't really miss, the other things. Like there's nothing that's more important than this stuff. That doesn't mean don't live your daily life. That doesn't mean don't disconnect. I mean, we came here to have a human experience because there was something in it for us, which is called soul growth. We're not here by accident. We're here because we chose this beautiful, amazing planet that's so lush and precious and amazing, right? To explore, to live, to experience. While we are on secret mission 12D, raise the vibe of the planet and birth new earth by getting in alignment and doing the job you came here to do and remembering all the things that we lost. No big deal, right? So the point is, it's not that it's not about not enjoying the planet, because we're here for that. But at the same time, don't lose track of what you came here to do, right? There's a way to hold the frequency that you came to hold and do the things that you came on this earth to do while you're enjoying your life, your family, your friends, and all of the things. So that's where you want to recalibrate. That's where you want to recode, okay? This is why everything is turning inside, because this is physical. So this is the part that is physical. This is a physical rebirth. Your cells are turning over. We don't need the old software anymore, okay? We're done. So with the old software, also have to, like, it's like the thousands of deaths of all of these belief systems that have to go through. So if you're getting triggered, it's like you have to just kind of let go of something. It's almost like, in a sense, if you're going through that, it's not pleasant, but it's like dying 1,000 deaths, and you have to go through it, and you have to let it all go, and you have to find the forgiveness, and you have to find like the higher ground, and you have to fill yourself with light. So because 12D is it's the highest multidimensional energy that we have available here on planet Earth. So everything is happening at the same time. So there's many people, we're not all going through the same phase. It wasn't like that before either, but right now it's even more diversified. Everyone is just going through, it's like, everything is like all over the place, right? And then one moment, even in like our own individual experience, it's one moment you're here, and then one moment you're here, and you're like, mother of all, I thought I was here, and now I'm here, but now let me apply the skills because I know how to come back, right? And so you're just like weaving yourself and overimposing reality. I can't say that enough. Make sure that you are creating. You're not a victim. You're not reacting. You're creating. Choose the reality that you want to manifest. Choose to feel empowered. Choose to feel that every time you see something that is gut-wrenching in the news, you have the power to change the feelings inside of yourself where that stuff gets triggered, and change it in your mind. Visualize things like overimposing, like find your power in that, okay? And whatever it is that also you're led to do. But you have to find yourself empowered, okay? You have to find yourself not victim of circumstances. You have to get a hold of yourself, literally, okay? This is the job. This is the job that we came here to do, okay? So there's a lot to it. There's a lot to remember. There's a lot to process. And it's a time to be sharp, my loves. So that's why I have like a million things that, to help you. And I'm always here, to support you in all of the different ways. But that's what we're up against, is a crazy ass, twisted, distorted world that's coming to light, right? And is unraveling, and we still have to hold the frequency. We still are here emitting 12D, like doing the work, clearing the historical lines, like, clearing the curses of our family, like bringing in the new structures, working with all the star beings and all the dimensions. We're still doing all of this while all this shit is getting unraveled and all the distortions are coming to life. We are doing it all. It's not one or the other. We're doing it all, which is why our nervous system, our adrenal system, our mental system, like everything has to be on point, like activated, integrated, flowing, like all the energy. We're like Olympians now of the energy, right? So that's really kind of what the stuff. So make sure this is the part. So this next phase is the part where your body has to sustain your spirit. Okay. So this is physical. This is physical stuff. And this is the part that, you just have to find a practice that works for you. So with that, that's why I'm doing a physical retreat, even though we have a million things going on. Those of you that are coming, those of you that are contemplating coming, like, let me know if you have questions. We are going to turn ourselves over, right? We're going to do all of the systems. So all the things that I talk about, this is the stuff that you'll be doing here, literally in this room, in this house with me. Okay. And I will teach you exactly how to recreate your reality and how to switch things and how, we're going to go through all the things. So, and we're going to have fun because, I believe in like handling all the things, feeling all the feelings, doing all of the work. And, there will be tears, there will be feelings. We're going to go through all that and we're going to have a great time and we're going to feel like goddesses. And we're going to laugh and it's going to be amazing. So it's all of the things. It's all inclusive, okay? With all of the mystical, all of the magical, because we're not here to just do a portion of it. We're not here to just do, hey, let's do the dark night of the soul shit. Or, hey, let's do the activation shit. Or, hey, let's do, let's do the manifesting thing. Hey, let's do candles and, rituals. Hey, let's do full moon. No, we're doing it all because this is multidimensional. So we're using all the tools, all the inner stuff, all the outer stuff, okay? So we're doing it all, and we are going to transmute our body. So when you can be here for 5 days with me, you're gonna leave a whole new person. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. You guys, August 5th through the 9th here in Salt Lake City, okay? If you have not looked it up, look it up. It's called Goddess Retreat, Rebirth at the Lion's Gate, okay? Rebirth at the Lion's Gate. I think that says it all. This is all of the quantum healing with a goddess crown on top. So, yeah. Thank you, loves. Ciao, ciao, loves. I love that I have sending love from New Zealand. We have such an international group, you guys. I love it. I love it. I love it. That's exactly what I needed. Thank you so much for sharing your energy and raising mine. Amazing. This is why we do the work. This is why we do it, right? The other day, when I was doing stories at night and I said, can you guys imagine what it would be like if I hadn't, in 2017, I hadn't had like the raw courage and the balls, like if that's what we want to call it, to say, you know what, I'm going to teach people how to see the council and the Akashic records and travel the astral planes just like I do. Holy shit. Can you imagine if I didn't have the courage to do that? And like all these courses would not have been born and we would not be here having this conversation, right? And all of these lives would not have changed. And all the miracles that happen all the time in my inbox. One day I'm going to start a series like miracles in my inbox because it's like, it's amazing. And it's time for so many of you guys to also experience that, right? To start coming into your own power. And this is like, and continue, right? Continue because this is, it's not just one of us, it's many of us. We have to do this. We have to do this together. So yeah, this is why we do it. This is why we do this. Okay, you guys, spiritual Barbie. Oh my gosh, you guys are so cute. You look like spiritual Barbie. I love you guys. Oh, I will take it. That is so sweet. That's a new one. I have not been called that before. So yes. So I am so glad. Confirmations that I needed. So many of you are saying this is exactly what we needed to talk about. I am so glad. And this is why I felt that we needed to do this. So we'll probably do another live to just talk about the retreat because I just felt like we needed to talk about these things. And like my number one is always showing up for the energy and for what is needed. Okay. And I will probably send you an email in the next couple of days about the retreat. You guys, we have registration is open until the 20th. So I do want to talk to you more in depth about it and answer questions and have fun. But this is a conversation we needed to have today. Let me know if you have questions about any of the things of the retreat. And someone actually messaged me and asked me if there was a way to do like a digital goddess option with the digital retreat and the goddess on mission. So of course I said yes. So that's coming up. So look for that, okay? Because I know that when you guys start asking things, there's others that are like, yes, I'm learning. We're multidimensional, multidimensionalness, everything. So all the options. So let me know if you have questions. Let me know what you're thinking. I love how many of you are manifesting this, and that was really my intention this week. So maybe we'll go live tomorrow or the next day to help you like really get in through the feeling of it and manifest it, okay? So I'm here to support you. I'm here to help you because I know that if you're feeling drawn to being here, there's big reason because I know what we'll be doing here, okay? And so you're not drawn to it by accident. So be with it, feel it. Let's manifest it together. My intention is with you. I'm so super excited for it. And I love you all. So I will see you here on stories, and I'll see you probably again tomorrow or Saturday, and we'll do another live. I love you all. Stay in your lane. Stay in your high vibe lane, okay? And blast the light and the love to all, to all, to all. Love you so much. I feel so much more at peace now. Good. That is the thing. And you guys know all of these lives that I do, I'm very intentional about like the energy. So even just listening to them anytime that you need to raise your vibration, this is how you tap into my frequency, right? Like you come to like, it doesn't matter, whichever one, even if it's not accurate in terms of like, hey, it was last week or, whatever. This is how you plug into this energy and this, the frequency that I hold so you feel it, okay? I love you all. I will see you soon. Mwah. Yes, we'll put this on YouTube. Sonia G, surprise 12D party live. I love you all. Find me here at Moonbabes and the Light Tribe and on all the social medias. I love you. Mwah. Oh, wait. Where are we? Oh, end. Okay, bye again. Ciao.